Hello my dear girls, today's lesson it's about facial asymmetry, it's about under eye bags, it's about the hollowness under the eyes and about sunken eyes. Everything what our bones are involved into. This is a self-osteopathic correction. I recommend to do it once per week for 10 weeks to really see the benefit. Even from this lesson you will already notice more facial asymmetry. You will already might notice even your 11s has disappeared that always be there. Why? Because sometimes the 11 tension around this area, it's not actually the corrugator muscle, it's actually the bones, because in this area inside of our skull a lot of membranes are connected. So I'll show you one secret technique that really release this. But again, in order to see some significant asymmetry change, bones are changing even slower than fascia. So this is only 10 weeks to really compare your before and after. But please, of course, if you tuned to your body, if you tuned to the changes in your body, you will already notice. Just a quick reminder how we work with bones, how we work in a self-osteopathic correction. We are not, I'm gonna say we move the bones, but it doesn't mean we move the hands, but it doesn't mean that your hands are actually moved. No, in all osteopathic schools that I went to, they say that it's important to say I am on the bone, because you will have to be going through the skin, through the fascia, through the fat, through the vessels, and then you will arrive to the periosteum towards the bone. You will have to almost imagine that your hand is your bone now. So when you move your hand, you move the bone. This is the intention. This is also will work only if you're in half meditative state. So again, not a lot you're gonna see on the camera is happening right now, because you're not gonna see a lot of movement. You're gonna hear my voice and you're gonna listen and follow my voice. You're gonna notice what's happening. Very important, as always, sit straight, put your feet on top of your body, take your sitting bones, separate them, make sure that you're sitting on your sitting bones, you're not slouching, nothing. Your lower back is supported, your abs are engaged. You're going to need the table for this lesson because a lot of exercises will be with the elbow support. And we will start with the correction of our basilar synchondrosis, which is this junction between your occiput and sphenoid bone. Girls who has different level eyes. This is your technique. But again, you have to correct all of the bones. You see how they are connected to each other? It's not about, oh, I have let me do this one technique. That's not going to work. That's going to work only as a hook on an Instagram video, but the reality, nothing is separated. You have to correct everything and the body will auto-correct into the ideal balanced position. So first correction is for this junction of our very powerful sphenoid bone. Here is our gland seats. Here's how we used to address our sphenoid bone by working with our lateral pterygoid because it's connected to the wing. But right now we will be moving the bones. We cannot really touch the sphenoid bone, so we will be addressing it by working with our frontal bone. Our frontal bone is here, our occiput is here. We're going to be working with a rotation. Rotation is when this happens. So we will be moving with intention to move two bones towards one ear. This is how it's going to look. One hand is on a frontal, another one is on the occiput, and both hands moving towards one ear. But again, you're not going to see the movement of the hands because my hands is my bones. I cannot just switch my bones like this. So I am making sure that I'm sitting correctly. I'm taking my occiput bone, I'm compressing it. Any bone work, you need to compress it a little bit. Why? Because you have to go deep and you have to really be hugging it. So my skull is fully disrupted right now, but we're going to be working with the rotation, then we're going to be working with extension and flexion. This is very exciting. So warm up your hand, sit correctly, place your hand on top of your frontal bone, go through the skin, go through the fat, go through the muscle, and now move two hands towards one ear. With compression, you compress, and now move two hands towards another ear. and see which way it goes better. Usually the way it goes better is actually the tension way. So we start with the one that goes better. Compress two bones and move them towards one ear. Breathe and look. Look with your eyes towards the ear that you're moving your bones to. 30-45 seconds for the correction. Look at the ear that you're moving your bones to. You might feel the warmth, the heat starting inside of your brain, inside of your skull. You might feel it near the ear. You compress, you're on the bone, your hands are the bone, your shoulders are relaxed, your elbows are supported by power of the connection to the ceiling. So imagine that somebody is holding your elbows, compress, and move towards one ear. Breathe. Relax your hands, and we're gonna switch our hands and move it towards another ear. This is a very powerful techniques. Not only they work with the bones and like our facial imperfections, but they also work with the structures inside of our skull, which is our brain. Win-win. Place one hand, another, you can switch them, you can keep them the same, and go through the skin, go through the fat, and move towards one side, one ear. Look at that ear. Compress, move. Breathe. You might feel how bones push you back when they are released. And relax. Very good. Now we're gonna do the extension and flexion. We're gonna be moving again, we are affecting our sphenoid bone by our frontal bone. So we're going to be moving our frontal bone down and our occiput bone down. So we're moving it like this, like this, like this. Make sure that you're not moving your tissue, right? No need. So you are with the bone. Now we need the help of our table. I'm gonna have one hand here, another one here, and you move it. You move it towards your spheno-basilar spheno-occipital synchydrosis is inside. So you're moving it towards that. Hug your bone. You can take it like this. You can take it like this. It depends on your forehead. And move it down. While you're moving it down, you're gonna look up. Compress. Say, I am on the bone, and move them down. Look up. Again, you might feel tension, bones. Breathe. Breathe in your ribs. Slowly let it go. Switch hands. And now you're gonna be moving the bones towards sagittal suture, so up. You're gonna be moving it up. You're also gonna move your pelvis away. So move your chair away and move your pelvis away like this. So you're making your spine, you know, our skull, it's just a continuation of our spine. So your one hand here, you can switch the hands. move them together towards the sagittal, like this. Before like this, now like this, and move your butt away. 1, 2, 3, starts. Compress, move. Look down. Listen to your bones. Relax your shoulders. Look down. And relax. So we're good. Now we're gonna be working with our temporal bone. Temporal bone not only important for the eyes, for the face, it's also important for anything that we have in stagnation around our face, because through the temporal bone there is jugular vein goes, you know, anything that comes from your brain, a lot from the eyes, from the sinuses of the eyes, goes through the temporal bone. So how to find temporal bone? It's a little bone right here, like, you know, if you would wear headphones. So place one hand on the mastoid process, like this. So mastoid process is a little bit this. If you find your sternocleidomastoid, you should be able to find your mastoid process. Hang your face on top of that. You lower your head on top of your mastoid process. Your little fingers go into your temples, and the rest like hugging like this. What you're going to do? Let me change a little bit so you see it. What you're going to do? You're going to lower your nose down while you compress the bones. So basically you compressing the bones and moving the rest of the bones around it, right? So, and don't move too much, because if you move too much, your hands are already not on a mastoid process, and you cannot really do this technique. So hands, thumbs on the mastoid process, the hands are compressing the temporal bone, and your nose moves down. Again, to some extent, you holding your temporal bone. Chin down, nose down. Compress the temporal bones, and the rest of the bones move. You hold in your temporal bone in an exact position as neutral, the rest of the bone moves. Breathe. Now bring your nose up while you're still feeling that you're holding your bone. Breathe. Now come back to neutral and imagine that your bones and your fingers have magnets. And right now you're gonna light up your grip, and you're gonna move your hands away from your bones, but your bones follow your hands. You are literally making your bones go apart by going with your hands apart. Slowly. Giving you space for the jugular vein, giving the space for the trigeminal nerve that goes through the temporal bone. You might see your facial mimic different after this exercise. We're going to be doing the correction with for our pterian space. Pterian, it's a spot where there's a lot of bones, as you can see, meet, and whenever they meet, they always have that venous blood flow compromised around that area, because our sutures of the scalp has a lot of tension. How are we going to find the pterian area? We're going to go on our orbit, and we're going to arrive right here on the temples. You're going to place your hands like this and hang like this, and you're going to start feeling any tension that is there. You might feel a lot of trigger spots. Just hang there. Hang. Breathe. Now start saying yes. So move your nose 1 centimeter up, 1 centimeter down, centimeter up, centimeter down. Say no. Find again the trigger spot and stay there. You can start with vibration. Vibrate from your body, not from your hands, from your body. Hands are not moving on your skin. And again, saying yes and say no. Find the trigger spot, and you can move your fingers more vigorously around that area. Super good. Now we are going into our occiput bone. Our occiput bone inside, right here, has our sinuses from our eyes combined there. So whenever our sinus then makes turn to the jugular vein, so if this bone has a lot of tension, and it does, because a lot of our back muscles are connected to this bone, the sinus could be compromised even before it became jugular vein. So how are we going to do it? Our occiput bone is a little bit not here where we were touching our temporal bone, it's a little bit here. So what we're going to do, we're going to compress it. You're going to place your hand. How am I going to do it? I'm going to go towards the back. Like this, you see me? Yes. Compress it and move your nose down. Again, obviously you cannot move your nose down too far without losing your bone. So you placed your hands, you compressed it, and you move your nose down. This is how you accelerate compression. And then the second exercise, you're going to press your hands like this, and you're gonna move your hands separately while your neck doing this motion. So first you're going this, and then you're gonna go this. Let's go. Compress. Move your nose down. You're on the bone, not near the ears, a little bit above. Move the nose down. You're on the bone. You're compressing the bone. Move your nose down. Breathe. You might feel heat there. That's a good sign. Move, move, move. Compress. You are on the bone. You are the bone. My thinner part of my hands compressing the bone. Now I'm going back to neutral. I'm placing my hand right here, and I'm separating them. I apologize if you don't see me, but I'm playing with light, with everything here. You place it here, and you move your head up like this, up. Your hands are barely moving, that's intention. Your hands are on your bone. Your head is moving up, nose away from the table. Again to neutral. Find that groove and move. Find the groove again and move. Separating, making them go apart. Very good. Now we're going to do this technique for the 11s. This technique for the 11s can be done every day. So remember, if the dents in this area bothering you, we're going to take our ear like this through the base of the ear and inside and move it diagonally like this, up and diagonal. While you're moving your ears, your head goes down, your eyes go up, you breathe into this area like this. Move your hands diagonally and up. Move your ears diagonally and up. Head down, eyes up. Breathe. Eyes up. Breathe up to the crown of your head. Breathe. Head down. Breathe. We're gonna do it 2 more times. You breathe in into this area. Imagine that your nose is actually right now placed here. This is the area of very crowded inside of our skull. And bone-wise, so a lot of tension again. Wherever it's more comfortable. Sometimes I take my ears like this, sometimes I take them like this, up and diagonally. Chin down, head down, eyes up, up, ears diagonally and up. Breathe, relax. One more time. Ears diagonally and up, chin down, eyes up, up to the crown. Breathe. Ears diagonal and up, chin down, eyes to the crown of your head. Wonderful work. Go look at yourself in the mirror, see the overall health changes that you might notice, and continue with this osteopathic treatment once per week. Again, if you can't do it once per week, at least once per 2 weeks, girlfriends. And the last exercise you can be doing daily. And look at this area. I'm sure you will see more space, you will feel more space, and you might see your dents getting smaller and smaller. Great work, girls.